comprehensive counseling services in the community college setting to increase student retention. Abstract. This paper seeks to address the use of qualitative research study for purposes of assessing the usefulness of a comprehensive counseling program at a small urban community college in the southeastern United States. The advancement in knowledge can be accomplished through this research study by examining the role of counselors in retention of community college students of ethnic and underserved communities served by this college. A small sample of students will be examined over a period of 4 semesters to determine if there is any significant gain in retention rates of these students. The introduction. We need to better understand the topic under investigation when attempting a qualitative research study. The need to better understand the topic is necessary in qualitative research in order to advance the knowledge based on specific topics. For example, in something I would like to examine the role of counselors in retention of community college students of ethnic and underserved communities in the southeastern United States. The advancement in knowledge base can be accomplished in underserved communities in the southeastern United States. The advancement in knowledge base can be accomplished in a variety of ways. We know little about the role of counselors in retention of community colleges. Students of ethnic and underserved communities in the southeastern United States, as determined by the literature search on the topic initially. There are underserved students who have not been identified with any studies done specifically on this topic. In enhancing my proposal in regards to the qualitative research idea, I plan to address specific groups of individuals that have traditionally been underserved. The school has recently acquired funds to employ 3 additional counselors to serve these needs. For these reasons, I propose to study community college students of ethnic and underserved communities in the southeastern United States and determine what factors have the most effect on their desire to continue their college education. The setting and participants are appropriate because of the participants and ethnic community college students of the ethnic and from underserved communities in the southeastern United States are participants. Ethnic community college students of ethnic from underserved community college and the southeastern United States are easily identified and easy to track and keep up with. I am assuming that if I obtain approval, then it will be easy to find participants for this study at the institution that I currently work at. The methods I plan on using to obtain data from the studies are as follows: interview surveys and the ethnographic cases study obtained from minority and ethnic students currently attending the community college under investigation. Analysis will generate answers to these questions regarding the specific roles of counselors in keeping this very vulnerable population enrolled in the college. One of the challenges researchers may face when analyzing the data is qualitative research study, such as this, are ethnic complications surrounding the anatomy of the participants involved in the study. I can imagine this may be an issue because of the small size of the institution involved and the population sample under investigation. It is the utmost importance to protect the participants from harm, embarrassment, and revelation of exposure of wide range findings that may come from the qualitative research study currently under investigation. It is expected to find of the study will be validated by the information collected during the data collection, that the identified of all participants will be protected by the information will be coded during the analysis process. Preliminary results support the particularity of the value of the study, because currently the counselor's usefulness and rule and retention has not fully been evaluated. Yet they are listed as part of the advising and retention team. The value of this job and of what it is designed to do, as well as services offered, could be greatly enhanced by further research involving those whom it was designed to help and serve. Academic advising is the only structured activity on this campus in which all students have opportunity for a one-on-one interaction with a concerned representative at the institution. Tinto indicates that effective retention programs have to come understood. Therefore, that academic advisement is the very core of successful institution efforts to educate and retain students. Typically, by time you are writing your introduction, you would have already conducted a comprehensive review of the extant literature that examines all sides of the issue under study. Furthermore, you would have used the literature review to identify a specific gap in the research, and then use the gap to better narrow your topic/idea. Define and refine the research questions, and also justify the need for study. However, a properly conducted comprehensive review of the extant literature often requires weeks or even months of intensive time, a luxury that is not provided in this course. In fact, not only have volumes of books been written about the literature review process, some programs spend an entire semester or more working on nothing but the review. Therefore, in this interest of time, you will have to pretend that you have already conducted a thorough literature review and identified a deficiency or gap in the literature. One way in which you can approach this is to think about what is not already known in your topic or idea area. For example, look at the recent published peer-reviewed journal articles within the past 5 years or less in your topic idea area. For example, look in recent published authors' recommendations for future research ideas, and then narrow that topic idea down as necessary to work for you. Keep in mind that whatever gap you identify will still need to be supported within the rest of your paper. It is only the through literature review that you are not required to conduct. You must still be able to support your statement, claims, assertions, and etc. based on the evidence and research you can gather during this course. Remember, your annotated bibliography requires 20 sources, so that would be the absolute minimum you should use. Statement of the problem. Student retention is steadily declining due to several factors at small urban community colleges. It has been determined through the use of both Southern Association of Accreditation of Schools and Colleges, known as SACS, data and qualitative improvement plans, the QEP, of the schools, that there is a need for student retention rates to be improved. Currently, the rate of student retention is 41%. The problem to be examined is student retention in the community college. Purpose of study. The purpose of the study will be to determine if comprehensive counseling services will improve the gap in student services offering in the area of comprehensive counseling services for students. There is a clearly identifiable gap in the current practices, whereas students are simply not being retained for various reasons. The objective of this study is to determine if the students are offered counseling services and assistance, are they more likely to remain at the college? Research questions. Can the use of counselors increase the retention and attrition of students at the community college? Can the use of a comprehensive counseling system increase positive outcomes for all individuals vested in this endeavor, which includes all educational personnel for students and for students' families? This will increase student retention and result in positive outcomes amongst all individuals involved. The significance of the study. This research describes a proposal to provide community college counseling services for urban students attending a community college in a medium-sized metropolitan city. The problem that must be addressed is described and explained is the need for such a program to help with retention of students, address specific additional needs of the students academically, and provide a foundation to ensure that the students complete a 2-year college degree in a timely manner. The definitions and key terms. The key terms and concepts that will be discussed in the study are identified in this section are as follows. Southern Association of Accreditation of Schools and Colleges, known as SACS. Data collected from all instructors, staff, and stakeholders at the college that are required to maintain membership and the accredited agency. Quality Improvement Plan, QEP. The Quality Enhancement Plan is a document developed by the institution as a 5-year plan dedicated to improving some specific aspects of students' learning, of the environment of the student success at the institution of higher education, SACS 2019. Comprehensive counseling services. Services provided through the college by a licensed mental health counselor that is developed to improve a range of students' learning and behavioral outcomes. Corey and Dimmitt, 2012. Full-time students. Students are currently enrolled and at least 12 hours of college credits. Retention. The ability of a college to keep students' attendance in school once they enroll. Research methods. Population and samples. The population under investigation is an urban community college consisting of 4 campuses. The students come from diverse backgrounds. However, most feeder schools are free lunch based, meaning that more than 50% of the population is currently receiving free or reduced lunch. The counseling setting and structure of the system under investigation will allow for a sample size of 5% of the current student population, NE 150. This researcher will conduct a random sample of approximately 150 students from all 4 campuses. Materials and instruments. The instruments to be used in this study are personal interviews and surveys. The researcher will also obtain enrollment information for 4 semesters from the registrar's office. The reliability and validity of this information can be considered as accurate, whereas the college must be accountable for all students enrolled each semester. Research methods. Data collection, processing, and analysis. This researcher will conduct a random sample of approximately 150 students at all four campuses. These students will follow over a period of 4 consecutive semesters using mail, phone calls, face-to-face contact, and other forms of communication after the initial contact in the student orientation classes. Data will be systematically collected on these students concerning their attitudes, grades, goals, achievements, and other concerns. Assumptions. It is assumed that students currently involved in the study are attending college for the sole purpose of attending and getting an education. It is also assumed that the classes the students need each semester will be offered each semester. If classes are not offered that the students need in order to finish the program, the students should not be expected to return to school. Continuation of research methods, limitations, and the limitations. The limitations of this study are only a small number of students will be samples, and assumptions must be derived based on the sample of the population. The other limitation is lack of response for some participants or the participants dropping out of the study. The limitations of this study include the geographic region covered in this study and the enrollment status of the students when they initially become involved in the study. The organization on campus that will be involved in this study will also include the school's current counseling team and those currently employed by the school as counselors. Ethical assurance. It has been determined at this time that this research study poses no risk to participants involved. Any risks that are deemed irrelevant ethical risks will be addressed as they arise. The confidentiality and anonymity will be achieved by using only student numbers associated with the student and how the data will be stored and an external hard drive that will be stored personally by the researcher and a locked cabinet. Are ethical issues addressed in data collection and adequately discussed? The researcher be explained to the participants. The researchers will explain to the participants, and that each participant will receive an informed consent document, which they will be asked to sign. Confidentiality and privacy will be assured in that no names or personal information will ever be passed on to any other entity not directly involved in the research process. The role of the researcher in this study is primarily an investigator. Currently, there are no relevant issues that could potentially influence this analysis and or the findings. The strategies that will be used to prevent bias and experiences from influencing the analysis or findings are such that the participants are free to leave the study at any time, and there is no harm nor benefit implied from participating in the study. In conclusion, this study will inform other community colleges and effort to invest in professional mental health crisis counselors and learn how to counsel an increasingly diverse population of students. This will increase student retention and result in positive outcomes amongst stakeholders involved. This is my presentation. Thank you.